Hi, my name is Zach Simmons, and this is Pro Football Today. It has been a long, long time since I've done a video on this channel, and I thought, it's about time we bring this back. So, if you're not familiar with this channel, there's a couple different things that I do. I'll have some videos that I'll kind of generally talk about the NFL, kind of what's happening. I'm going to try to do a weekly recap each week, going through this is what happened this past week, and this is what we can expect next week. So be on the lookout for those. And then I'm a big Bears fan. I live about an hour or so outside Chicago. So I'm going to have some videos where we're going to take a deep dive into the Chicago Bears. And today, that's exactly what we're going to do. So the Bears released their 53-man roster earlier today, and there are some surprises with things. Remember, this is not the final roster. In the next week and a half, the Bears will make some moves. Not only will they add to their practice squad, but I won't be surprised if they add to their active roster as well, especially the running back position. Right now, we have 3 active running backs. Very surprised they did what they did. I thought Eden Wheeler would definitely get a shot. That wasn't the case. I expect him to be on the practice squad. But 3 active running backs, 2 of which are hurt. Earlier today, there's only 1 running back at practice, from what I heard, and that was DeAndre Swift. Roschon Johnson is still out. Kyle Monangai is still out. So the Bears had to make a move at running back. And you can't go into week 1, obviously, with 1 healthy running back. You have to have some other running backs on the roster. So I won't be surprised if they end up making a move probably in the next day or 2. We'll see kind of what the Bears do with that. I'm also really intrigued when it comes to left tackle. The Bears have still not announced their starter. So I assume it's Braxton Jones, but I think there's also a chance the Bears starting left tackle is not on the team just yet. I do know Cam Robinson is being talked about, being traded. I believe his contract is only about $4 million, so be a very cheap option for Ryan Poles to kind of solidify that left tackle spot. And at that point, you have to admit the depth there at left tackle is phenomenal. I like Braxton Jones. Can we do better than Braxton Jones? Absolutely. Trapello is a fantastic tackle as well. So, going for that kind of a trade, I think for the Bears, it's a no-brainer. And if you hear any kind of wrestling or anything, that's just my cats having a great time. But the Bears line depth is there. It can be a little bit better. So, adding someone like Cam Robinson can actually be a huge, huge plus side to the Bears' offensive line. I also anticipate the Bears are probably going to make a move at cornerback. We'll see what happens there as far as who's starting week 1. Outside corner, very big question mark. We're 1 injury away from having a really big problem. And technically, we're already there with Jalen Johnson. So hopefully that can be resolved here. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Bears do in the next couple days. I'm anticipating those. You're probably going to see a move maybe on the offensive line. You're definitely going to see a move at running back. I think you'll see a move for cornerback, and I won't be surprised if the Bears add another name to the defensive line. So we'll see kind of what happens there. There's a lot of different possibilities that the Bears could do. The Bears could make a big trade. I'm hesitant to say that, but at the same time, I, along with a lot of other Bears fans, was very surprised by the Khalil Mack news back in 2018. So anything's possible right now. Obviously, you have Micah Parsons out there looking for a trade. I doubt Dallas will trade him, but we'll kind of see what happens in the next few days with that. I think if there's going to be a trade for Micah Parsons, I don't anticipate it being the next week. I think more than likely it's going to happen after a few weeks. I think he'll probably play Dallas's hand a little bit. We'll just kind of see how that goes. As far as the Bears season this year, I won't go too much into week 1. We'll go into that next week when we have a better idea of who's on the roster, who's healthy. And the same thing goes with Minnesota as well, to kind of see where they're at after a week. But as far as the season goes, I see a lot of optimism out there, and that's great. We have a great coach from what it looks like. The thing about Ben Johnson is if he doesn't work out, then he fooled the entire NFL. I mean, every single person was saying this guy is the next great head coach. So this isn't like the Bears picked the wrong guy. This isn't like the Bears hiring Mark Trestman or Matt Nagy. This is different. This was a move that the entire NFL said they made the right move. So if he doesn't work out, then the entire NFL was tricked. So I think we got a coach. I like what I'm seeing from him so far, given we haven't seen an actual game yet. So he can say the right things, do the right things, but until we start seeing some wins, I mean, anything can happen. But the one thing we need to remember is that it took Detroit a little bit over half a season to actually get things going. It took Jared Goff, an established franchise quarterback in the NFL who played the highest level. It still took him over a half a season to get things going in this offense. Now, given this offense is not going to be a complete carbon copy of Detroit's offense, that's not how Ben Johnson works. He's not like the previous offensive coordinators the Bears have had, where they have a set system and they try to make every player fit their system. That's not how this is going to work. Ben Johnson is going to build a playbook around the skills of their offense. So what we saw Ben Johnson do in Detroit is not necessarily what he's going to do in Chicago. It might be kind of how things start off with, but over time you're going to see some more plays that are created specifically for the players the Bears have. So you'll see a different scheme, I think, than what we saw in Detroit, but it's going to take time for that to happen. It takes time for people to build that chemistry. It takes time for a head coach to build that chemistry with his team. So it's going to take some time. I will not be surprised if the Bears have a very rough first half of the season and half the fans are calling for Ben Johnson to be fired. I have a feeling that's going to be the route that we're going to be going. This is not going to be instant success. And I'm not hating on Caleb Williams here. I'm not hating on Ben Johnson here. I just think that's what's going to happen because that's what happened before with Detroit. Sometimes things just take time. You don't have instant success. And really, when you do have instant success, that can be a very big red flag. Just look at the 2018 Bears, okay? Matt Nagy comes in. And the Bears all of a sudden look phenomenal. The defense looked better than what they did in 2017. The offense is beginning to click. It looked like Matt Nagy was the best coach the Bears have had in 30 years, since Mike Ditka. But then in 2019, we had huge hopes. Okay, the Bears have already had 1 year in this offense. Now, Nagy has fully installed his offense. Now let's see what we can do. It should be better than last year, and it was hands down worse, and it kept getting worse. And that's when we found out the Matt Nagy offense does not work. What ended up happening was that in 2017, the defense was building momentum under Vic Fangio. That defense was starting to look very, very good. Then you add Khalil Mack to that. And they carried that momentum from 2017 under John Fox, continued that in 2018 with Matt Nagy. The offense had a lot of new weapons. Remember, in 2017, the Bears had no weapons. Kendall Wright and Dontrell Inman were the best targets that Trubisky had, and even Trubisky himself. He was a rookie, very raw, just kind of thrown out there. It didn't work. But then the Bears add Taylor Gabriel, they add Allen Robinson, they add Trey Burton, and things were clicking again. If you had those pieces with that offense, it was going to get better anyway. Darryl Loggins, not the best offensive mind in the league. I saw more life with him than I did with Matt Nagy in 2019 and 2020. So the point of the story is we had instant success in 2018, and that wasn't really due to Matt Nagy. It brought up the question, should we have fired John Fox to begin with? if John Fox had that team in 2018, what could have happened? Could the Bears have had success, better success in 2019 and 2020? There's a lot of question marks with that. So usually when you have instant success, it's not because of your new coach, it's because of the last coach. So basically the Bears have instant success and maybe we made the wrong move. Now, I don't think that's the case, but because the Bears made the right move and letting Eberflus go and not keeping Thomas Brown, there wasn't a whole lot of momentum to keep going. It's going to be hard to get things started up. It's going to take a few weeks. I won't be surprised. First half of the season, it's going to be rough. Second half of the season, they begin to click. And then that momentum then carries over in 2026. So for all those saying the Bears can make playoffs this year, I hope so. They have the talent for it for sure. They have the coaching staff for it for sure. We have the quarterback for sure. But I think more than likely 2025 we might come a little close. I think we'll push that last half of the season. I think we'll be in the hunt, but I don't think we'll be able to actually knock ourselves into the playoffs with that momentum. But in 2026, I think if the Bears do have that momentum at the end of this season, watch out for the Chicago Bears, because I think they could take this league by storm as long as this roster remains intact and some of those holes that we have get filled next offseason as well. So this is a good team on paper, but we were a good team on paper last year. Last year we lost because of coaching. I don't think that's going to be a problem this year, but this is a brand new system, brand new coach, both when it comes to offensively and defensively, new schemes, new systems. If you want success in that, then you have to do it right. It takes time. So I think the ceiling for the Bears, I would put as like 10-7. I think that's a pretty good ceiling, and that's kind of sneaking in 7th or 6th seed, I think, in the playoffs. I think the floor, I would say probably winning 3 games. It's possible. I don't think we'll get there. I think more unlikely that's going to be because of injuries. So I'm thinking conservatively. I'm thinking maybe 6 or 7 wins. I think that's more realistic for the Bears this year. But we'll see what happens. I'm hoping things can come off a little bit quicker. We don't have to worry about making sure that we gain momentum after the bye week. I'm hoping we can keep momentum going, that we can start clicking after 3 or 4 games instead of 8, and we'll just see what happens. But that's my thoughts on the Bears this early. Right now it's just kind of this wait and see. We don't know what to expect. Don't know what this roster is going to look like even by this time next week. And of course, we haven't seen both Ben Johnson's scheme and Dennis Allen's schemes just yet. Preseason doesn't count. I like what I saw against Buffalo. There were some pluses against Kansas City, but you can't really use those at the moment. What really matters is what happens week 1 versus Minnesota Vikings. So we'll see how things go. Be on the lookout for more videos. If you like this, please make a comment. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button. And if there's anything that I said that you like, anything that I said that you really don't like, please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But thanks for taking time to watch this. Have a great day.